Hey everyone, this is Shannon with Smokin the Wild, and on today's episode, I'm gonna take this frozen cauliflower pizza, some amazing ground deer meat, and I'm gonna make a quick, easy meal that's absolutely gonna blow your mind. Stay tuned because we're fixing to get wild. Ah, there he is right there. All right, I know it sounds crazy. A frozen cauliflower pizza? Well, it gets better. I went and bought a $5 pizza pan from none other than Dollar General. And the reason why I did that is because, yes, I have a pizza stone, but I realize a lot of people don't. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna cook like a lot of people cook, $5 pizza pan. I've got cut up tomatoes, I've got cut up mushrooms, fresh cut up bell pepper, I've got some yellow and some orange in there. I've got some fresh Vidalia onion that I chopped up and diced up. We're gonna get to the deer meat in just a moment. I've got several ingredients here, including pesto, which I normally make from scratch, but again, this is gonna be quick, easy for anybody to do. Now, what makes this deer meat, which by the way, you could use ground beef, you could use chicken. I've even done this with salmon that I smoked on the Hasty Bake. But what makes this deer meat so special is, number one, I shot the deer. And as I've said before on Smokin the Wild, you'll never hear me use the word harvested. I was not driving a combine when I shot this deer, all right? I bow hunt, I rifle hunt, that's just the way it is. You can feel free to use any protein you want to use, but I not only shot this deer, I processed it with these two hands. I ground it, I aged it, I took very good care of it from the field all the way to the house, all the way to here right now. And what makes this deer meat even more special is I actually integrated ground smoked pork fat, some garlic, some other seasonings that I'll talk about in a future date. This deer meat is like no other. Everybody that tastes it can't believe it's deer meat. It absolutely tastes phenomenal. So what I'm gonna do real quick is we're gonna pull the pizza out of the box, we're gonna cut the wrapper off, and we're gonna get started. All right, let's get started. Now I want to point out, I could have very easily made the pizza crust. I've done it a bunch, it's not hard to do, but I also understand that not too many people have time to do that stuff anymore, live busy lives just like we do. So I kind of wanted to show you how simple this is. So we're gonna go ahead and debox the cauliflower frozen pizza. I'm gonna put it on my $5 Dollar General pizza pan. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take some granulated garlic and I'm just gonna carefully sprinkle, again, as much as you want, just a light sprinkling of the garlic kind of as a base. Garlic is great. If you want to keep off vampires, ticks, mosquitoes, maybe your girlfriend, I don't know. But anyway, garlic is an amazing, amazing seasoning. The other thing I'm going to use is smoked paprika. If you haven't tried smoked paprika, this stuff is the absolute bomb. So I'm just going to sprinkle some of that on here, again, as a base. All right, there we go. Then I'm gonna take some Bearded Butcher's Hollywod barbecue rub. That's right, barbecue rub. I'm gonna open it up here and I'm just gonna lightly sprinkle the pizza with this. Just get a good sprinkling, all right? Then I've got some Pancho and Lefty SPG. It's got black garlic in it. You've heard me talk about it before. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite rubs, and get that good base on. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take about a half tablespoon of salt. There we go, that's about a half tablespoon. By the way, I learned that technique from Justin Wilson back in the day. He had a cooking show, The Cajun Cook. He never measured anything, but when his audience would say, that's not a tablespoon, he'd pour it in his hand and go, oh, it's not, and he'd pick up a tablespoon and I practiced that as a kid over and over and over again. So I know it works. All right, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take probably about 2 to 3 tablespoons of this pesto, and we're just gonna lightly sprinkle it on here. And again, it's just worth saying, I've made fresh pesto from scratch millions of times, but we're in a hurry tonight. So I think I got this, I did, at Costco. So you can get it at any grocery store, Walmart, wherever. So we got a thin layer. It probably worked out to be about 3 to 4, maybe 4.5 tablespoons of pesto. Again, to your liking. I've got it evenly spread out here. Even though on the pizza itself, it has a very, very thin coat of marinara sauce on there, we still like pesto in this family, so that's what we're gonna do. Then I'm gonna take some of this chopped up onion, okay? And I am gonna just sprinkle again to your liking, all right? Then I'm gonna take some of the fresh chopped bell pepper. Even though this pizza already had some bell pepper on it, it didn't have near enough. Then I've got mushrooms that I previously chopped up, and I'm just gonna kind of lay them on there, kind of spread them out. Basically, we're making a supreme pizza out of a really inexpensive cauliflower pizza that I got at Costco, okay? Spread that mushroom around, all right? Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this sliced up tomato, and I'm just gonna layer it around. We're in a hurry, it's quick, it's easy, we're done, okay? Put a little bit more of the Hollywod, Bearded Butcher Hollywod, just to get those tomatoes, okay? Not gonna add any more salt or pesto, and then I'm gonna take some smoked paprika and layer the top of it. I want you to take a look at this before I added the shredded Parmesan. Now take a look at that. It didn't take me very long, and then I've got some shredded Parmesan that's aged, and I'm just gonna lightly or heavy, however you want, go ahead and hit this with some of that Parmesan, and we are ready to go. Now, because I like presentation, I like color, it's not a big deal. You can just take it and hit it one more time with a very light coating of the smoked paprika. Bing, bang, boom, we're done. With the exception, we have one final thing to do, the most important thing yet. All right, what I'm gonna do first is I'm going to take just a little of this minced garlic, about a half tablespoon. I'm gonna pour in some olive oil, not very much. As I said, I have added some pork fat, probably about 15% to this deer meat, but I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of olive oil. I'm gonna get the stove cranked up, all right? Then we're gonna put out this 1/4 pound of smoked ground deer meat that I did myself. And then we're just gonna take this and we're gonna brown this deer meat. Now, one of the things you're gonna see here in just a minute, and I highly recommend you pay attention to this point. The biggest mistake I see people making with deer meat is they cook it too long. Even ground deer meat. You don't wanna overcook this. Now, you gotta remember, we're gonna put this on the pizza and it's gonna bake for about 20-25 minutes. So I'm gonna brown this deer meat to where it has just a little bit of brown to it, maybe just a tad of pink in it. Don't worry about it. I don't care if it's ground beef or ground venison. We're just gonna get this fairly brown, but not too done, because it's still gonna continue cooking when it's on that pizza in that hasty bake. And the biggest reason why most people say they don't like deer meat, bottom line, it was overcooked. So do not overcook it. Same way with beef, chicken, whatever, but just be mindful, don't overcook this deer meat if that's what you choose to use on your pizza. All right, it's literally been about 5-6 minutes. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but there's a little bit of pink in there, not much. This is done. I don't want to cook it any more than this because it's going to continue to cooking while it's baking on the hasty bake. So let's take this and let's transfer it over, and we're going to scoop some out over the pizza. All right, so now let's get this on here. We've got our deer meat browned. Again, not too much, just enough. Who ever heard of venison frozen pizza before? I haven't, but again, use whatever protein you want. So we get this sprinkled on there, and that, we got one final step and we're done. Folks, I'm telling you, from the time I chopped everything up, got all the ingredients out, took the pizza out, browned the deer meat, got all this ready, I literally probably have about 10 minutes into this. It's gonna take about 20-25 minutes on the smoker. Oh man, it's gonna be incredible. It's an easy, quick meal that tastes absolutely amazing. You gotta try this recipe. I want you to see what it looks like with the deer meat on. I got two little final things to add to it. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt, not much. Oh, that's not even a 1/4 tablespoon right there. Add a little bit of salt. We're gonna finish it off with even more Parmesan. Bing, bang, boom, we're done. It's ready to go to the hasty bake. Let's go. Pop this up. Place our $5 Dollar General pizza pan on there. Close the lid. We'll be back in about 20 minutes to check on it. All right, let's check this pizza. Woo, would you look at that? Haha, look at that rascal. My goodness, hearing it sizzle. This $5 Dollar General pan panned out, no pun intended. Look at that. We're gonna take it inside, let it rest for a minute, slice it up, taste it. Cannot wait. Let's go inside. Absolutely gorgeous. So now all we gotta do, take our spatula, using the same cardboard that this frozen cauliflower pizza came on, set it on that. Well, ooh, that's hot. Set that aside. This thing is ready to sample. I'm just gonna cut, oh, listen to that crunch. Wow. I'm just gonna carve off just a little bit. Can you hear that crunch? Wow. I want you to take a look at this right there. That right there looks phenomenal. All right, now all that's left to do is taste this bad boy. Oh my goodness, I can't wait for this. That is a touchdown in any game of the week. Wow. I've tried that pizza when it's just out of the box and threw it in the oven and taken it to this level. You can taste the pesto, the garlic, the deer meat, the parmesan, the different rubs we've got on here, the tomatoes, the bell pepper, the onion. You taste all the ingredients and you just get all these different flavor levels, and it's just the crunchy crust and unbelievable. You know, on the Hasty Bake, if you've got one, I started off at bake about 300, 310 degrees. At about 5-6 minutes before it was ready, I set the oven timer for actually 25 minutes, and at about 18-20 minutes, I went out there and I actually cranked the firebox up just a little bit to make sure that crust got good and crunchy. This is absolutely perfect. And I promise you this, whether you like deer meat or not, if you do this and try it, you won't be able to tell it's deer meat. It's just that good. Can't wait for you to try this recipe. It's quick, it's easy, it tastes great, it's fast. How could you lose? Hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, smash that subscribe button, get the bell notifications, and as always, thanks for watching and look forward to the next episode.